Dude, I was out this weekend, and Chris, you might appreciate this more than anybody else on here, but you know how like the style in the last 5 years for like off-road lights are all like kind of LEDs
Oh yeah,
versus the old.
like the guys with the full LED bar in their grill that drive
Yeah,
around like in broad daylight, blinding people.
you got
Sure,
the
sure. I love those guys.
well, I found a retro look that has like 8 round lights that go over the regular windshield, but the actual bulbs are like modern LEDs, so it's got kind of a retro look.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna try and price it out because it'll still fit in my garage, like being able to back it in, and but it looked pretty cool. Took some pictures of it.
Gary, I'm enjoying seeing the top quarter of your head right now. It's a really good look.
Maybe I should.
That's incredible. All right. What's up, everybody? And welcome to the newest podcast coming at you here each and every single week on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. Welcome to episode 31 of Breaking the Mold. If audio is your preferred platform, we got you covered. We're on iTunes and Google Play. Please remember to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, as I hear it really helps the show out. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It's absolutely free. Doesn't cost a thing. And don't forget to hop into the live chat going on right now below. Please chop it up with the rest of the R.O.C fam. We're going to be giving the chat squad some shout outs throughout the podcast tonight. So hop in there and chop it up for a bit. All right. This episode of Breaking the Mold is brought to you by Crashbox Customs, the official Mezco supplier of the Realm of Collectors. Visit Crashbox Customs on all your social media for your Mezco 112 needs. Mention the word Realm when placing your order, and you'll get a surprise gift with your purchase. All right, I'm Harrick MBX. Let's say what's up to the rest of the crew. First up, Energon Addict. What's going on tonight, Pop?
What up? Can you hear me? Is everything okay?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay. That fiasco last week had me fucking pissed, but Tuesday had a decent weekend, and I'm here with you fools. So
busy man. You had a little moonlighting session yesterday, huh?
A moonlighting session yesterday.
Yeah. Well, you're checking out some other shows, doing some other stuff.
Yeah, I was hanging out with the other guys from the other side.
The other side.
Nice.
A little free agency going on here in the R.O.C.
Yeah, they just everybody's testing the water, see what fits.
Right. Next week it'll look different all over again.
Dom gets back when we're gonna push him onto building up to
Stasis
it.
life.
See how that works. Yeah. Right. He fit right along with those boys, not for nothing though.
Oh, word.
Dom loves some beasties.
He's gonna be upset once he listens to this, that you're pushing him, that you're pawning him off. All right. The analyzer, Brian Brank. How you doing tonight?
Hey, sorry guys. Actually, I just woke up from a nap, so I'm kind of tired. I'll get with it. How you guys doing? Am I on mute? Are you good?
What's up, Brian?
No, you're good.
All right. My thumb doesn't hurt.
I hear you.
I'm good. So, yeah.
Oh, that was a pretty bad blister that I saw.
Yeah, that's very nasty.
Yeah,
be careful. Be careful. Spooning out your breakfast out of a ladle in the morning. It's hazardous.
Yep. Some gin and tonic will make that all better, though. I'm sure.
No, I didn't have any ice cubes ready. I'm fucking falling apart, man. I got no contacts. I got burnt thumb. I had no ice cubes made. I don't know why I didn't fill up the ice cube trays last night, but I didn't. And here I am with no ice, and so that means no gin. I guess I could drink it warm, or no, I'm not doing that. It's not good. What do you guys recommend?
You sound defeated, bro. You sound so fucking defeated.
Wait, you still have to make your ice trays by hand in your refrigerator?
Yeah.
It's 2018.
I never hooked up the automatic ice maker on it.
Oh.
I guess I could have, yeah.
But I still have to do that too, Gary. I still have to do that too. You know?
Oh, savages.
That Bronx life.
Oh.
All right, Brian. Thanks for being here.
It's only been 9 years. I guess I should get around to hooking it up. I mean, yeah.
fuck that one up.
All right. Next up, G Money. What's going on, man?
Hey, what is going on? We need a little bit of energy on this panel tonight. Everybody's kind of mellow, and Brian's recovering, and he doesn't have his beverage of choice. And I don't know what Dave is messing with there, but
I'm just high, bro.
it's okay. All right. Well,
All right, there you go.
either way, it's good to be here. It's the weekend was kind of uneventful, just normal stuff, and it's good to have some conversation tonight. So.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right. We got a special guest tonight. The host of I'm not gonna get into that, but we have the one and only Chris Pinkerton. If you're nasty, what's going on, Pop?
What's up, party people? How's everybody
Chris.
doing tonight?
Good, man.
Thanks for having me. It's nice to be welcome on a R.O.C podcast.
No. Like I said, I'm not gonna get into that, dude. But just so you know, you're always welcome here on Tuesday nights, man.
Hey, you speak for yourself, dude. I don't know about that. No, I'm just kidding.
Dom is really going to be sensitive though, because Tim was here last week and Chris is here this week, so Dom's got some work to do when he gets
only
back.
one giant allowed per week.
Listen, nobody's as insensitive as me. Hey, I wipe my ass with your feelings, Dave. Just keep that in mind.
I know.
I got my Puerto Rican friend maker right here too. He's ready. He's ready. Actually had to go buy new blades today because I probably have about a dozen of the. I love this style of cutter for what I do. Not killing Puerto Ricans, but for my dioramas. God. And I can never find one, so I bought like 4 of them today. Nice. It's very exciting times.
See, Dave, he's fitting right in.
I have a bunch around my house too.
I want to know why.
Got everybody trying to be Puerto Rican. Look at this.
No, man, you never know where you're gonna open your box. You know what I'm saying? I got one right here.
All right. Well, Dom should be back with us next week, and JD will be joining us tonight. A little bit under the weather, so all of us on the panel wish JD a speedy recovery. And all right, so guys, this past weekend there was a Wonderfest Summer 2018. Was held this past weekend in Chiba, Japan. From what I read, it's touted as one of the world's biggest figure festivals. So, some new Transformers products were on full display, including the new War for Cybertron Siege line, which was first revealed just a couple of weeks ago at San Diego Comic-Con. And they had a masterpiece display as well, showing off their new MPM Ironhide. But I think the pics that had everybody buzzing were the photos of the new Masterpiece 3.0 Optimus Prime. And then we got photos of a Masterpiece Hound in all this Toon aesthetic glory. So the Hound was a big reveal since we had not heard anything about an MP Hound, being in the pipeline. So as always, when a reveal like that happens, I already saw some Fans Toys Willis's being sold in the groups for a much lower price than it commanded just a week ago. So that's a shame. But I know we all said we were in for that new Masterpiece Prime, a few shows ago. And, I just wanted to know if the picks that we.
Yep, we lost you.
Got to see this thing full prototype on.
I mean, first of all, I don't see why everybody got so excited about them showing the Vinyl Tech Hound. I just don't understand why everybody's so excited about that.
Vinyl Tech.
Wow. Boy, y'all are slow on the draw.
Man,
I'm kidding.
I haven't heard.
I was going to say alternators, but it technically would have been the Japanese version, which would have been the diecast Vinyl Tech.
Yeah,
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go first here because I know you want to hear my opinion on Transformers, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Just, I mean, you have a unique one, being that you're out of it.
Right, but I think like the Hound, there's 2 good versions of it already out between Gundog and what you talking about, Willis. Right. Shout out to Dustman. So I think it's kind of Johnny come lately with it, but it's Takara, so people are going to jump on it. I mean, I haven't seen, has Cheem or anyone done the actual side-by-sides of all 3 of them?
Antoine put a...
Yeah. Okay, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. He just did one for Willis and the thing, but we don't really have a team one yet.
Gotcha. So I don't know. I mean, if I was still in the game, I wouldn't swap it out.
I agree with you. I think initially in the chat when we were talking about it, when the picks were dropping, I was like, man, I like the fans' toys better. You know, I think it still looks better to me. It fits in with that old masterpiece aesthetic, you know, and the tune, these new tune designs, I'm 50-50 on them, you know, because I didn't mind the Sunstreaker. I really like that figure, but seeing the pics of this Hound, I'm like, man, I don't know. Not that it looks terrible. I don't think it looks terrible, but I like what Fans Toys did. I like that look. I like that aesthetic. So I don't know. I mean, I'm probably going to get this just to check out the toy, you know, and whatnot and the engineering, but I myself prefer what, you know, the Fans Toys look. So, you know, anybody else?
Yeah, I don't think it's like Chris, I think Chris said, like I've owned both the Make Toys one and the Fans Toys one over the years, and like each one was like cool in its own way for different things. So I mean, I don't think that you really go wrong. I was just excited to see something new that was in, you know, kind of G1, you know, character cast versus just more repaints or updated or slightly modified molds
or
that we've seen
Beast Wars.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Or Beast Wars stuff, which just isn't anything for me. So I mean, that was pretty cool, but you know, it's so there's two new figures, right? So you got the Prime and the Hound, and then Wheeljack is just another kind of repaint, you know, modification stuff. So it's
I will say that Wheeljack is. I mean, the rest of those pluses to me, it just been kind of like, okay, you changed the leg color, but that Wheeljack really hits the spot.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
But why is it like not slated until February of next year? That's what I don't understand is why are they showing it now and it's taken like another 6 months to just, you know, for something that's already existing that they're just changing colors for.
Well, they're just waiting on everybody who bought the KO to save their money so they can buy it.
Yeah, it's probably the release schedule too. I mean, they just dropped the Masterpiece Dinobot, you know, so I'm sure they have like a, you know, I don't know if it's a quarterly release. Maybe they release a figure once a quarter, you know, 3 times a year. I don't know what their schedule is, but more than likely that's it. I know they have a Prime reissue that's supposed to be coming, Optimus Primal, to be clear, reissue coming out, I think in January, you know, because that's when the Beast Wars Megatron's supposed to be dropping. So, you know, that's what I'm assuming anyway. So. I don't know, the Wheeljack, I was actually looking at a pic of it earlier because and I actually had my Wheeljack here on the shelf, so I was just able to compare them real quick. And to me, like, I like the white on it, but it seems to have like less details. It looks like they took off like the decals, you know, like the Lancia, you know, decal that was on like the foot and stuff like that. Like, it just looks like it has less of that. And to me, it's weird because it sends a mixed signal. You're getting these MP pluses, but it's still, you know, the old school aesthetic. Like, so just update the figure because that's not the aesthetic that they're going for anymore. And to me, a repaint is not doing it. You know, it's not making it look any more tuned to me. You know.
Yeah, man, I agree. And I'm looking at the Wheeljack now too, and like I know he's not tuned. I don't know. It's fucking sharp looking. I'm not hating that repaint though. I'm not gonna get it most likely, but I think, like you said, the that one pulls off the repaint better than the other ones that they did for the pluses. Back to that Hound though. I picked up this Hound, the Willis I have here, and you know, honestly, I don't have a desire to get another one. It's not like the Sun Surge, right? When Takara Sunstreaker dropped that one, and then I went and picked up Sun Surge off the shelf. I was like, yeah, thank God, you know. That thing doesn't look as good as I thought it did, you know. But this Willis, you know, it checks all the boxes that an MP figure checks or is supposed to check. Typically, Fans Toys does that. MMC kind of does that for me sometimes, even though they're a little stylized with that Studio Ox stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's something that they could do that would really blow me out of the water I haven't transformed this thing back into a Jeep yet to see how I feel about that, but I don't know. We'll see.
I was about to
Brian, have
ask
you ever transformed Willis? Because he came in bot mode, right?
I did transform him once.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
pretty sure. I was going to mention too, the Willis Jeep is, I mean, if you're a fan of old episodes of MASH, right? It's not a very big vehicle. So
nope, not at all.
When he is transformed, he is kind of out of scale with an MP car. I don't know if anyone really cares, but if the car found a way to make it a small Jeep, I don't know, that'd be kind of cool.
I'm gonna be that guy, but I think like the Jeep it's based off of isn't like a United States military Jeep. It's actually a Mitsubishi Japanese version, like off-road vehicle. So you're right, it is actually smaller than what we're used to expecting when we think of like a Jeep. So
it just broke a lot of hearts, Gary. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know, but I figured I'd be that guy.
You got to drop that Jeep knowledge, bro. You got it. You spit it.
That's Jeep life.
But with that hound, like kind of like what Brian was saying, like I got to see it, in order to want to swap it out. Like I don't think I'm gonna, and I don't think the minute I saw it, I said, all right, cool. It looks good. The articulation might be a little better in the like shoulder joints, arms, because Willis, that's kind of his flaw, because it kind of gets caught. The arms get caught when you move it. And also the fragility of those fucking little mirrors that he has or whatever in the front. Mm-hmm. But once I saw that funkiness going on in the back of fucking the Takara, I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth a swap out. Like, I'm happy with this toy. It looks a little tuned. It looks, it looks toy. It's heavy. Again, with the Fans Toys diecast heaviness. Like, for me, it's not that, because it's heavy that I think it's worth more, but I like that it's not as fragile. You know what I mean? That it feels more sturdy in my hand, that I'm not going to snap it. So I think I'm going to stick with the Fans Toys and be happy with it.
So I have a prediction. I'm just going to throw this out there, and Chris's company is excluded, but I bet just about everybody left on this panel buys it based on when it drops and what's coming out at the time that it actually hits. Because we've had a lot of reveals between San Diego of all this different stuff, all these different lines, and you add this other show to it. So I think it's easy for it to get kind of mixed into the wash right now. But when the thing actually comes out, one person's going to get it and post some pictures, and then they're going to be like, oh, yeah, that's cool. It's a little more fun than the Fans Toys, or it's this, or it's that. And then I have a feeling just about everyone will buy it just to even check it out and then kind of decide from there.
And you better believe that person will have ordered it from Amazon Japan and saved upwards of $12. I will say that you're right, and it's all about timing. Because if it comes, if they drop that, like, and it's been a dry spell, even if, obviously for Transformers, it seems like it's in waves, it's 4 or 5 releases in a month, or it's nothing in the Masterpiece line. So if it comes like, in a time where it's everybody's like, hey man, you guys got any of them MP stuff? People that were like, man, I wasn't gonna fuck it. I haven't bought anything this month.
You got it. I want to check it out.
Let's say like, Fans Toys drop something that month, and it may be Bad Cube, whatever. I think people might not immediately jump on it the way that you're talking. It's all about timing, and it's literally the same for every line, not just Transformers or the transforming robot hobby.
Yeah. That's true, but you already see, like I said, people are already selling the Fans Toys Willis in a group. You know what I'm saying? So you got those that are just, once the MP is announced, they're just gonna go for that no matter what.
Yeah, they're just trying to get the top dollar now before it drops even lower.
We know that.
So, hey, I can try to get $100 for it now as opposed to 80 in 2 months.
We're silly to expect anything different though, because that happens every time. A Takara release comes out. So
and there is a good contingent of the fandom that really does place a value on these things, and from a dollar standpoint, from a monetary standpoint, I should say, and so they wanna get top dollar for their stuff.
And not everybody can afford to buy both. You know what I mean? And then kind of decide afterwards they might have to sell one to replace it with the other one, which is cool too.
Yeah, but I see a lot of like just threads a lot where it's like, wow, you shouldn't buy that because that's going to be worthless soon. And they were talking about fucking Takara dropping a hound like a year or 2 years ago, right? Because they're always like, oh, it's coming. Oh, it's coming. And then it's like someone's like, hey, I finally scored a gun dog for something. And they're like, you should have saved your money. That thing's going to be worthless. I fucking hate people like that.
Yep.
They suck.
Some
people just
there's people that like that gun dog more than they do the Willis. For what it's worth, it's like a better toy almost.
Yeah. I will agree because I've had it, and the Willis I feel like it looks better to me. It looks more masterpiece, but then the Willis I feel like is a better toy, like overall, like you can mess with it, a bit more. I felt like it had like a little bit of a better build. Brian, you said you transform Willis, and I've heard stories that the transformation is like somewhat of a nightmare. Do you agree with that?
Oh, all I know is on Figure Banging, Ace couldn't transform it without taking the tires off. He's like, first step, takes tires off. I'm like, what? The only way I can get it is to transform.
That's adorable.
Yeah, it's really tight.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shout out to Ace Milo and Figure Banging.
Some views and some likes onto that Figure Banging video. Go find that. Yeah, have a good one.
That's hilarious.
I will say this: it kind of got me like a little bit energized because I really do want an official Jazz. Like I really, really would like to. None of the third-party ones have really kind of just felt right to me.
Hey, Gary, guess what?
Yes,
I heard there's an MP Jazz coming. Just
in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, dude. All I'm gonna tell you is I was right. This moment right now, mark it down. Right. Oh my God, Brink told me that one was coming. 5 years from now, I don't know. Could be tomorrow, but one's coming. That's what they say.
Yeah.
I heard they're all coming, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Eventually.
But I am excited too for a Jazz too. I don't know.
So I've got a question though, and I don't want to tangent too much, Jose. So reel me back in if that's the case.
Do it.
So there's been so many reveals and so many things coming out eventually. Like on one hand, it's almost a little overwhelming. It's exciting, but have you guys got like I've kind of gotten to a point where I'm kind of like bored with it, and I say that meaning like there's nothing new out to get right now. You know what I mean? Like, does it make sense? It's like I know Fans Toys has like 3 figures they're supposed to hit like all at once, and it's like why? I guess I can't understand. I think there's make more sense to space some things out a little bit, but I feel like there's so much stuff in the future into the end of 18 or all the way through 19, whether it be Hot Toys or Mezco or this Takara stuff, and there's just really nothing immediately out to get excited about. It makes me lose interest a little bit, because I'm just tired of like looking so far ahead. Maybe.
So you're bored of getting news is basically what you're asking.
Well, I think it's almost like so much, Brian, that I kind of like, okay, it's exciting. It's nice to see this stuff, but there's nothing on the immediate horizon. Everything seems so far off. So you could say, well, just be patient and just kind of wait for it. But I feel like there's just, everything is so far off that, let me rephrase that, I guess. I liked what Bad Cube did with the Lambos a couple months ago because they showed it. They said, here's what's coming out. It wasn't expected. And then it was like 30 days later, it was hitting like retail stores. And I thought that kind of presentation, I like that. I think a little bit better than the stuff that takes me out into mid 2019 as an estimate, for stuff to pop out.
Yeah. I feel like we've gotten a lot of stuff like recently though, like with the Transformers. Really? Like I know I've been getting a lot of stuff like recently, catchy. But we got the 2 Lambos from Bad Cube, and then what else did we get? That just like recently dropped. Well, I've been buying the mainline stuff too, so maybe that's why I feel like I've been getting stuff. I know you guys are out of that game and stuff like that, most of you, but. Yeah, and I think that's why, like we've talked about it before, like sometimes I don't like to see the reveals too far ahead because you're looking too far ahead. You have to wait too long for some of this stuff, and maybe some of the things that are going to be coming out in between are not as interesting to you. So
you know what the worst is? forgetting you've pre-ordered shit, and you get those reminder emails from the import sites.
Mm.
Oh, you owe us $400 or whatever.
You're like, damn, what the fuck did I buy?
Yeah. Dude, Amy hit me up this week. I was like, huh.
You know what's funny? I forgot right as soon as I got back from vacation, they hit me up, and then they didn't send a reminder. I guess I should log on there and see. I think it was Civil War. I think it was Infinity War, ScarJo.
Yeah, mine too.
Nice.
Dave, you're going to say something about the boredom?
I was.
I thought I interjected over you when Gary was doing his point.
I could say something about it because everybody knows I've been recently putting my things out finally. So these are toys I haven't touched in 3, 4, 6 a year. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, it's been a while before I touched any of this stuff. So it's essentially all new to me. And some of it has me like, oh, wow, like this is dope. I'm glad I bought this. I'm happy with this. And then some of it's the opposite reaction. I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself, the fuck did I buy this for? Like, was I that fucking bored? Or did I have extra money that month? Because this is stupid, you know? And I'm just like, do I keep it? You know, like who the fuck would want this now? You know, like I'll give you an example. Like,
which color hot rod are you talking about?
Exactly. Like, dude, like, yo, I got the black one with the mustache. I got the first purple one. I got the red one. Which one do I put out now? He's not red in the comics no more. So do I put the blue one out? But it's not the right purple and blue one. It's the wrong one because they came out with another one that I didn't get yet. So now I got to go buy that one and try to sell this one that nobody wants. Get the fuck out of here. It's like, come on, you know? And I'm saying this also with like, all right, so we're getting a new Prime. And Brian, I know you love Optimus Prime. I love him too, you know, my own way. And I bought MP10. I got the fucking the Hasbro one. I got the Takara one. I got the fucking white fucking Ultra Magnus one. I got the black one. I got a fucking purple one. You know, it's like, dude, you got like 5 renditions of something that's already fucking old. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yep. They're all gonna come. You know, they're gonna fucking do the same thing with all those things again. They're gonna repaint it and make their money with it.
Yeah.
So it's up to me whether I say, "Don't be a fucking idiot" 2 times, you know, or 10 times for that matter, because I already bought the first fucking 6 renditions of them, you know. But it's not boredom, but it's more for me. It's more like fucking like pissing me off. Like it gets me like kind of ticked off. Not only at you know the people making the stuff, like you know they got to make their money. Myself too, for being so impatient, for probably you know jumping the gun because I thought this was gonna be the best fucking version of this figure at the time, and now it's not. You know, now I'm stuck with something. You know what I mean?
I'm not stuck with it. Do something with it.
Lose money on it.
Well, oh my gosh, how many times we're gonna have this conversation? Deja vu.
You know, I've been thinking. I don't really have I'd have to rethink my display ideas.
How I like when Gary gets mad.
but Dave, you know, for the figures that you already have, right? And if a new version of that character comes out, and yeah, that new one is the best rendition, but the other one really isn't bad. You know,
oh no.
I'm thinking, you know, maybe change the display up so it's like, you know, where you can. I mean, look at what Bobby's done, right? He's got multiple versions of Star Wars characters across multiple different brands, all the same height, right? It's like, well, I'll make a display of these guys doing this thing, and I'll need a couple rays for, you know, one there and one over there, stuff like that. I'm thinking, you know, maybe you do the same thing for Transformers. Make some.
Bobby's toy room is also the size of my house.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a lot fucking different when when you have the space for something and you don't.
Yeah. But I don't know. There's got to be a way to keep to have the awesome toys that you love and not hate them for the reason of simply they're being redundant, and just find a way to display them and like them in that fashion. What do you got, Chris?
Well, you know, and I know we're sidetrack city here, but I think a lot of people's I'm not going to say mistake. A lot of people's anxiety over their collection is the display. And I think a lot of people's anxiety over the display is, how am I going to get all this shit out?
Mm-hmm.
The beautiful thing about it is you don't have to put it all out. You can put out what you want to put out. You can curate. Say it with me. Curate your collection and just put out the things that you, I guess if someone came over, you want to show. Or maybe you have a desk, you have a drawer in your desk of the shit you like to fuck with when you're doing podcasts, right? You know, Dave's got that special drawer over by the chair by the big window, right? All the stuff he likes to play with when he's on podcasts. But I mean, you don't necessarily have to display everything you have.
Yep.
I mean, look at Brink. And Dave both. It took them years to finally get their stuff out.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
and Chris, like you have to.
Jonathan.
Oh, I'm sorry. G, hold that thought, because I just wanted to ask, like, if you guys, since it took you guys so long to put your display out, and a lot of this stuff you had in boxes, so like these MPs that we've already had that now they're making new versions of, like now you're finally getting the chance to enjoy them because you're putting them out on display. Is that going to make you just want to wait to get these new figures? Like just wait and down the line, so maybe you don't have to feel the pressure to get them right now, and then maybe you could upgrade at a later date if you feel the need to.
Yep,
definitely.
I don't buy that. I don't think you're going to wait for anything. You're not going to wait.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to him?
I'm talking to me.
You guys.
I don't see anyone else here.
Both of you guys. You're not going to wait.
Harry, I haven't bought not one of any new combiner that's coming out.
Yeah.
In the past year, because I said I was going to wait to the end. Because look what's going on now, at least with Menasor, right? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait it out. It's just, you know how many combiners I have upstairs that are outdated and nobody wants to pay for now that I spent $300-400 on?
Mm-hmm.
Or I have Warbotron, Computron, Warbotron, Bruticus. I have fucking what else do I have upstairs? Nero Rex, Ferro Rex. I like them still. They're not bad toys, but who's gonna fucking buy them?
Dave, dude, this is my first time hearing you talking about the penny pinching, man. What's going on? What's going on, Dave? You all right, man?
You don't listen. Yeah, you know what?
It's because
I'll let it all out. I'll let it all out.
You're finally opening that stuff up now, right? And that's what
I'm finally opening it up, and I'm like, everything I pull out is minus dollar sign. I'm like, yo, I really spent all this fucking money on Transformers? Like, holy shit. The name.
So
really
you're not happy with it.
Point.
You would rather, we've had this conversation, I feel like a dozen times. Like you'd rather just sit and not be on display and complain about what you paid versus like turning it into something else that you actually do enjoy. That money's gone.
But he's just getting to put it on display now. So like you're now, Dave, you're going to be able to enjoy the stuff right now. Like
but he's already saying which ones he doesn't care about anymore.
Yeah, no, there's things I pull out and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not happy with this. It's outdated, but it's my problem. It's 3 years old.
Yeah.
I was storing the shit upstairs, and now that you pull it out and they changed. Things have been evolving. Our toys don't look the same like they did 3 years ago either.
Tim's been playing with all of your stuff boxed up in the attic anyway, so
that's why they smell funny. Nah.
How are you leaning though? So like now, like you're just saying, like you're taking the stuff out and you're not feeling because it's out there. Are you leaning towards selling it even though you're going to lose money? Like so what? Because like Gary said, the money's already spent.
Like I'm probably going to ration out like 15-20% of my Transformer collection and sell it as of right now. Like I could probably go a little deeper, like 35%, but I want to get a chance to fuck with it too. Like it's not fair to myself. If I might want to keep something that's essentially somebody else may not want because it's not the new rendition of the character, but I might be like, that's fucking cool. I want to keep it.
So let me ask you this, Dave, and I've often said this. I used to be on another show, and we'd always say that sell to survive, right? And part of that is sometimes maybe you don't sell it for what you have in it, but did your enjoyment of that, and your situation is different because that shit's out in the fucking box,
right?
But did the rest of you guys, did your enjoyment while you own that, was that worth anything to you, or are you literally just trying to make your money back on stuff?
Yeah. To me, Dave, I know your answer was kind of directed at you, but to me, I don't mind taking the hit on, my return, because my time with the figure and getting able to mess with it and transform it or whatever is worth the 10 or $20 that I might lose on a
100% agreed. 100%.
Yeah, but when you start thinking about the 10 and $20 and it turns into $150.
Hey, listen, I came downstairs right after I moved and got everything set up. I couldn't sleep one night. I came down here. I got the calculator out. I'm like, man, Toyota Tercel, huh? That's what went through my head. But in reality, I mean, you can't do that to yourself, man. You can't do that. Yeah. Think about, hey, do me a solid. Go through your bank account and see how much money you've spent on coffee and, or if you smoke, how much you spend. Yeah, it's the same shit, man. It's just it's tangible. It's like going out to eat, except you can look at it.
The thing is you buy shoes, right? And you might like shoes, but you buy them to put to use for a purpose. Same thing with a car. You buy it to use it for a specific purpose. You're getting use out of it. So I don't think you can argue and say that owning it now, the enjoyment you got, look, that's up to you to have it on display, to transform it back and forth, to just enjoy owning it. Some people just like having it. I think people who collect everything and sealed in the box just enjoy the ownership piece of it. So there's something to be said for that too. And if you lose money, that's your choice, and you can change your behavior and your purchasing habits, or you're okay with it. Or you look at it like this and it balances out, because sometimes there's stuff that makes money, whether you hit the market right or the popularity. So like Willis is a great example, right? Like that thing was what did he cost when he came out? Like $100,
90,
and then he was selling for like 200 for a little while, right? If not more.
Yeah, recently.
And then all of a sudden it changes again. So I mean, no matter what it is, if you hit the timing right, maybe you make money on some and you lose on others. But I just look at it like, if you're not getting that enjoyment anymore, then why hold on to it? And why not turn it into something else that you actually would enjoy?
Yeah, and Dave just said it, because like a lot of his stuff was boxed up, and I know you take your stuff out when you get it and probably snap a few pics and put it right back in the box, and then you forget about it. But now that you have your display and taking them out, like some of that stuff is old and outdated, but like you said, now you have the opportunity to mess with the figures and then see if you do actually want to keep them or not.
Right.
Like, you could do something like what Jiska's doing and do an alt mode display with a robot mode display, like if that's what you want to do, or you mess with them and you sell them at a future show or something. It's all up to you, basically.
Right.
So, yeah.
Also, it's not so much it has nothing to do with the display. I mean, we were talking about the new characters that are coming out and swapping them out for the old. So the question that you did ask me and Brian was, wasn't it like waiting? Not doing it, not buying it, having it on display now, making you think maybe to wait longer. And that's 100% correct, because I'm like, during when you have let's say when you have everything boxed away, right? You don't it's almost like telling a story. So like some people, they buy things and they hold on to it for 2 weeks and they sell it. They might remember Gary, I wasn't a dig to you. I'm saying it's okay. People, I know you're laughing, but they sell it, right? And then they have to recall, okay, yeah, I had that. You know what I mean? Somebody that stores their shit away, and then they pull it back out. Now they're like doing a cycle, kind of like going through the years and saying, what was wrong with me? What was I doing then? You know what I mean? Why did I buy this? It's not like they're more impulse buys, I think, than anything else. But you don't realize that when you're buying them and storing them away. You know what I'm saying? You put it out on display, within 3 weeks, you're like, I don't need that thing. I don't like it. I'm going to sell it. But once it's gone, you forget about it, pull it out, and you're like, now you're saying to yourself, what was I doing during that time? That's what's happening to me now. Like recolors. I'm a fucking sucker for recolors. And why did I need them? Why? Because I was probably bored. I bought them because nothing else was coming out, and I said, you know what? Fuck it. It's in another color. I'll buy it.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
That means you're the target audience.
I was, but you changed. At least with Transformers, I've changed. I'm very selective on what I purchase now.
Yeah, and also too, Dave, with my stuff when it was all in boxes. Actually, you know, I've got stuff here up on shelves, but this stuff's not out for display. This stuff's a mess. But anyways, like I would keep buying things like different colors or different ones with different aesthetic because I'm like, you know what, when I do get it on display, this is how I'm gonna do it. No, this is how I'm gonna do it. And I was like, you know what, let me just get all the raw materials now, and then when it comes time to put it up, you know what, I'll have the perfect one to make the display the way I want it. But it turns out that's not the feelings that you get as you just described. You're like, God damn it, why'd I buy this? You know, kind of stuff. I will say, the thought of selling something, whether it be, you know, out of regret, kind of sucks. But I mean, yes, all of us here on the panel at least have the opportunity to sell our stuff in person from time to time. So honestly, even though I'm taking a hit sometimes, it's nice to sell it back to the community in person because somebody's really looking for something that you necessarily fell out of love with or something like that. And I always find that it's kind of cool. But
yeah, that is cool.
Not everybody has that opportunity.
Yeah, that's a nice perspective. I never really thought about it that way. It's kind of like paying it forward, but you're getting paid.
Well, I think Brian, that's my favorite part. So this will be coming up in a couple of weeks. You know, we've got NJCC, and you know, the Realm has a pretty strong presence there. Chris put together the table groupings and stuff, and it is really cool. You know, I think Chris, you told me last year, like, yeah, we get together and we just buy each other shit sometimes.
Yeah, I said we should just meet in the fucking parking lot in Persephone and fucking swap toys.
Right, which is kind of true. But I had so much fun, and Dave, again, I'm not singling you out, but like Jose and I share similar thought process when it comes to selling there. I think we're like, hey, let it go. You know, it's money to do something else with. I've money that's already been spent. You know, you really struggled last time. You know, you had a hard time with each and every item that you were selling. You know, and you could see the emotional, you know, it was tough for you. Whereas then I watched Brian, and Brian, man, is all about that connection with his customer. And I saw him like connect, and in 20 minutes, like, yeah, I mean, he was selling 3, 4, 5, 6 different things. You talk about, you know, putting packages together and stuff like that. But you could tell, Brian, that you were just really enjoying also, you're making some money back, but you were really having great conversations with people and, you know, adults with kids or just other collectors that were our age. And, you know, like you said, people who had a passion for stuff. So much. I think you had stuff on your table really just to kind of attract people to come over and be the only one who had a Phoenix or the only one who had, you know, some third party stuff.
Yeah, I bought Pinkerton's Phoenix just so I could have it on my table and make like $5 on it.
That was
that part was I don't know. I thought that was just fascinating for me to watch and to see, you know, who was really focused and. At all different levels, you know, like Chris, even watching Mason, you know, kind of work some deals there and sell stuff. It was just, I find that interaction part just fascinating through the process.
Yeah. It's interesting because you have that unique perspective considering like what you do like for a living.
Yeah, you know, right. I work, you know, for a sales organization. I was going to say Dom's not here. We can't tease him about, you know, standing up and, you know, looking over his pile of crap to like help somebody because we're always like, dude, stand up.
Oh man, that's gonna be a good time. I can't wait for that. Just about 3 weeks away, right? Just under.
Yeah, it's we're 2.5 weeks.
October 18th and 19th at the Cherry Hill Holiday Inn there. NJCC, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, right outside Philadelphia. Come see us. There will be set up. And have we announced our giveaway there? I don't know if the night's the place to do it or not.
We have not announced it.
Do you have it on hand there, Brian?
I do.
You want to show the people what we're giving away? Before they do raffles there, like you buy raffle tickets at the door, and they do a raffle. Is it every hour?
Yes,
I think so. Yeah, it was.
So last time
I never won shit there.
I never have either. We have a pretty big one this time.
Wait,
yeah,
didn't you win the Wolverine, Dave? Was that you?
I bought it off of Eric after he.
Oh, that's right. Eric won it. That's right. Yes.
I gave Eric $40 for it after. I'm like, yo, $40. It's like, all right.
Yeah, E Prime won. Ian won, right? Riddler's.
Ian won.
Yeah.
Yep, Riddler Circle got to win a door prize one time.
Justin L, doesn't he win there like a couple times every show?
Tyler F always wins though.
Oh, that's who it is. Yeah, that's Tyler F. Yeah.
I think Justin's won stuff, but this is what we got.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is what we got. And this is not mine. This is a brand new one. That
hope I win it.
Will be the giveaway at NJCC door prize.
Oh, very nice. Very cool.
MAS Megatron. For those who are listening.
Does it transform?
It does not.
Is it sticky? Those are always my two questions about robots.
No, it's not sticky. It's not any translucent plastic. Here.
Clear at all? Okay.
No, but it does light up.
So look at that. Do we love you or do we love you? Look at that. Look at that door prize for NJCC. Incredible.
So Jose, back to your topic about swapping out. So obviously I collect these dolls behind me, and Gary does, and actually I think pretty soon, Jose, you might be the only person on the panel that doesn't have a doll.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, but what Infinity War is coming out. All the Infinity War Hot Toy stuff is up for pre-order, and there's literally it seems like they're going to make every character from the freaking movie, which I already have. I have a Winter Soldier already. I have a Falcon. I have a lot of those already from the earlier movies. So part of me is torn. Do I want to replace them, or do I just want another version of them? Like, for example, I'm ordering the cap from that, but I'm not going to get rid of my Civil War cap. I'm just going to have 2 Captain Americas.
And Chris, wasn't your Marvel collection 1/12/6 scale originally centered around the Winter Soldier movie?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I'm missing the Maria Hill from that to have everything. I think they put a Maria Hill out to have everything they released from that. Yeah, so that was my initial toe dip into the Marvel Hot Toys was that. And then I just kind of fleshed it out with what I consider to be my favorite version of whichever movie version, like the I've got the Hulk from the first movie. I've got the I think I've got the Iron Man from the first movie. I've got some stuff from Age of Ultron. I've got some stuff from Civil War. It's just, however it's fallen into my lap, really. But there's so much cool stuff coming out. It's like, geez, I've got a Vision, but that Vision looks better. Do I need to spend the money on the Vision? But the Vision, the one I have, also looks incredible. It's just not the newest, shiniest one,
And also too, do you take a pretty big hit on the resell once they announce the new ones?
I don't know. I'll give you another example. So, the Doctor Strange Hot Toys figure came out when the Doctor Strange, shortly after the Doctor Strange movie came out, to little or no fanfare, although it was deemed a very good figure. But after his performance in Infinity War, the price of that figure shot up to $600. And then they announced the Infinity War version and all it's just like Willis.
Yeah.
Willis was if that had been the stock market, people would have been jumping off buildings, right? But that was the same way with that.
It reached quake-wave status at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. Yeah, exactly. Same thing. So I haven't looked because I haven't sold any of my there's a couple things here I'm thinking about changing out, just getting rid of. But from what I've seen, it's you can pretty much always get close to retail back for it.
That's good. I was about to ask if you were still considering selling, because I don't know if you actually put some stuff in the Shameless group or if you were like thinking about it, and we were like, oh, what the for real? Because
honestly, man, like Justice League just licked the red off my sucker for the DC movie franchise.
Okay,
that movie just pissed me off so bad. I've lost a lot of the interest in it. I still love the Suicide Squad, and I've got all those characters here, and the Trinity. But part of me is like, I got all this Star Wars shit coming in. I need somewhere to put it. Oh, look. So I got to make a decision one way or the other. Just start stacking them deeper in the DTOF shelves, or move them out, or just buy more DTOFs.
I was about to say, like, are you willing to expand the DTOF collection down there? And
oh yeah,
in regards to getting some of those new Hot Toys figures.
Oh yeah.
Because what are you like? What other alternatives do you have? Like, and what side are you leaning towards? So what you just said, as far as like these newer versions of these characters coming out, like, are you still leaning? Do you want to keep the older versions, and or are the newer versions, since it's what's current and what's new? Are you fine with just that?
So everything except for pre-order, the only thing I've got pre-ordered that I already have a version of for Marvel is Captain America. So I don't have a Thor. I've got Thor on order. I don't have Doctor Strange. I don't have Thanos. And that may be all that I have ordered for Marvel. So, that's still a considerable chunk there. So I'm not replacing anything,
So like when you say replace, right? Because like I'm gonna switch off from Marvel to Star Wars. So obviously the Captain Americas are from different movies, right? Different costumes, different looks.
Right.
I was about to
With
ask
Star
this
Wars,
question.
we buy, 5 different Luke Skywalkers because he's in different scenarios, different costumes, different looks. So do you think there's a difference between that as opposed to Marvel, just because there's not that dramatic of a difference in the wear, with the clothing or costume per se?
Man,
Dave, you're just crazy. You're buying you're the only one who buys like 5 Luke Skywalkers.
I mean, it's hard to say for me because
I'm not though.
I know. I'm just kidding.
My focus for Star Wars on the 6 scale is the prequel stuff. So we've got if you really kind of think about the way they've done it. So they released Episode 3 Anakin. They're releasing Episode 3 Obi-Wan, and then Episode 2. Versions of Dooku and Yoda. I'm assuming that's what they're from. They really don't tell you. And then Episode 1 Darth Maul. And if you look at the promo images, it appears there's going to be a Qui-Gon.
Right. And there's going to be another Obi.
It's going to be. It looks like. I mean, look, that's my dude. I will probably buy.
Every Obi.
3 of them?
I'll make an Obi. Yeah, I might go get the Mythos and get the old one too, and just have a.
Oh, so you have 5 of them. Wow.
Yeah.
Which version is that one that he's like in between the movies? Like he looks like the old man.
Yeah, I mean it's complete. It's not canon technically. Well, I guess is it canon? I don't know if it's canon.
I mean,
not really.
Based on Rebels, it is.
True, and actually, I think there was an issue of the comic book where he was pretty much that character.
Yeah.
But
a figure
I mean,
like
that's
that helps to sell that illusion that he fucking looks like
does.
he got.
It does.
They look completely different.
Yeah. Hey Dave, are you upgrading your mall?
I not immediately. No rush to do it. I mean, the only sad part is with some of this stuff, you don't know if you're gonna be able to get it a year from now.
See, that's why I went ahead and ordered the mall with the speeder, because I'm like, if I don't decide I don't want it, maybe I could just sell the speeder. But it wasn't a huge difference price wise, all things considered. It was 25% more. It was. If you look at it that way, because I'm just afraid of stuff like that, because it's a DX version, and the DX stuff always goes up in value. You look at even like the freaking
the Bespin Luke, or stuff like that,
or the Jack freaking Sparrow is worth a fortune now,
right?
Because the DX versions are those,
But what scares me about that DX version shit is, after a while Hot Toys could just do it, a regular one, right?
I don't know if they've ever actually gone like, I know they, like, for example, you look at the Dark Knight movies. They did the standard Batman, and then they did the DX Batman. Then they did the standard Joker, and they did 2 DX Jokers in 6 scale. And of course, they've done them in 4th scale as well, quarter scale. I mean, it's always a possibility. But it's always a possibility that the one you have is pretty badass, and it works just fine for you, too.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Dave, you kind of touched on it with the Marvel ones, but I was thinking if these things are the uber collectible, the ultimate rendition of the character in toy form, unless you're in love with the new outfit, there's really no need to swap out, right?
It's a costume, not an outfit.
Sorry.
Semantics, right?
It's not a costume; it's a uniform.
Yeah, duh. Yeah, it's a captain's.
Well,
You're gonna go to war. Wear a uniform.
So we got which clone did they show? Was it Cody?
Right.
So I mean, it's a no-brainer that you'll be getting the rest of them.
Well, not really, because they're only doing the movie stuff, right? Like that's what Hot Toys is known to do. Is just the movie. The movie.
Was Rex not in the movies at all?
I don't know. I know there was only a few that were. So.
Yeah. Well, in regards to the switching, see, like, because now you're talking about the characters, the different characters, like, we spoke about the Transformers, and sometimes that's a little bit of an easier pill to swallow because the stuff's not expensive. But now when you're getting into the Hot Toys territory, does that play it has to play a factor, I assume, as far as your decision to upgrade a figure or not? No.
Yeah. What there's a difference. I mean, with Transformers, I mean, you said I see the dollar amount almost the same these days. Like we're talking about Optimus Prime, we're guessing him to be what, $350?
300, probably 300. Yeah.
So I mean, like Masterpiece Megatron was what, 230?
Yep,
right.
230.
And that was at the time. It seemed astronomical because
but that's what Vader cost.
Same price as a freaking Hot Toys figure,
right?
Or standard one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference that I find between the Hot Toys and the Transformers is you're going to get a Hot Toys, you're going to pay $250 for it. If there's a knockoff made of it, it's probably going to be shitty and not worth it, because I haven't seen any fucking knockoffs that are like, up to par with Hot Toys. But with Transformers, you're going to pay $350, and within a year, you're going to get a KO of it for half the price. So... That's the thing that bothers me with Transformers, as opposed to spend, with the high dollar amount I'm paying for things. But
we haven't seen a KO MP since Megatron, I guess. Well, we haven't seen any KO and Beast Wars, and we haven't seen a KO of that Sunstreaker yet, right?
No.
Maybe things are changing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't lurk in those waters, so I can't tell you.
Yeah.
What is the Dave, you just mentioned about like a KO of Hot Toys. Is that like a thing? Is that as prolific as it is in the Transformers?
Crazy toys.
Nah, not really.
Yeah, no. It's not necessarily that there's not. People will knock off the head sculpts and then they will put it on basically a statue's body. Like Mr. Skullface has a Crazy Toys. Like Hugh Jackman Wolverine. It's basically a statue, but they don't ever sell it. They don't sell it as a statue.
Okay. All right. That's interesting, because I know they do the stuff with the figure arts and the play arts Kai. Like I've seen stuff like that scouring like eBay, and you got to be careful. So I just wondered, how it was in the Hot Toys community. Like if it's something that, like, if you're trying to shop online, is that something you really have to look out for?
Yeah, not necessarily. I mean, I think you probably find more head sculpts, and it's almost like more of an upgrade than a knockoff. Like for example, if you go on eBay and look Heath Ledger Joker Hot Toys head, you will probably find about 40 different versions, official and unofficial, rooted hair, unrooted hair, face painted, face not painted.
Right.
It's just insane, because at one point I was going to kit bash one of those together, and I was like, I don't even know where to start here, because I didn't know, what was good and what was bad and all that.
Yeah, there's a lot of kit bashing and custom work being done. Like,
yeah, Adrian in the chat says that Taobao is full of knockoff Hot Toys.
Mm-hmm.
I've not run across one like, the groups. Obviously, there's just as many Hot Toys groups as there are any other group, and people in there bitch about things the same way as every other collector. But I've never run into that.
Yeah, but you never hear somebody that collects Hot Toys, hey, I'm going to wait for the KO.
Right, yeah, definitely. You don't hear that, and you don't hear people, yeah.
Until they start releasing superior fucking dolls for half the price.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, I think I can't remember ever hearing somebody say, hey, don't buy from eBay seller, blah, blah, blah. I bought a whatever, I bought a Joker and it's a knockoff. I haven't ran into that either.
Mm-hmm.
The way you do, with Transformers all the time, and you don't see taking a chance, $30 hot toys. Guess I'll have to learn my lesson the hard way.
What should I do? Should I buy it? What do you think? Is it worth it?
Let me
I'm
know.
covered by PayPal. I'll get the money back.
Right.
Yeah, and like your money's tied up for 6 weeks, though.
Yeah, go ahead. Burn $30. Go do it.
Mervin says he likes the appeal of Hot Toys for him is their payment plans.
Absolutely,
that's huge too, because Transformers. I mean, you can pre-order with your favorite retailer and they'll hold it for you, but you got to have that money when it comes out. At least with these Hot Toys, being that the price point's a little higher, you can break it down and it's not hitting you as hard, on the wallet.
Listen, I was looking at my there you can. I didn't realize that somebody told me recently. There's a calendar on Sideshow, and you can look and see. Well, there's some months where I'm gonna need to mow some grass to make some extra money, man. I swear. Like, how many payments are due on the 10th?
Damn.
Oh, because it correlates with the amount of pre-orders you got. So I assume you're in for a bunch then.
I got 9 or 10 right now. Yeah. So far.
I've heard before, because I don't know, if the stuff that's like about a year out and stuff, do they make you start paying those payments like right now? Like, can you space it out between 12 months, or is it always like a 4-month thing, a 6-month thing? Like, how does that work?
I'll look at my account right now, but you don't pay anything initially. You have to pay a deposit. It's a 10% deposit. But I'll tell you right now, I'll look at something. View your orders. Gulp.
I've never attempted to try to order anything from Hot Toys. So maybe anybody that's out there listening, if they're interested in getting into it, the payment plan option is attractive. For those out there that can't.
Let me go down to something that looks like it might be coming out sometime in the near future.
Go to Vader or Boba Fett. If you ordered it,
I don't have either one of those. So, all right, so Obi-Wan says it's coming out April to June of next year.
Oh, which Obi-Wan? Old?
The Obi-Wan Deluxe version. So it's episode 3 that comes with the
high ground.
It comes with the high ground. Why did it just dump me back into the main menu? Hang on a minute. I love you, Anakin.
That's probably like my favorite.
It's usually like, Jose, you could break it down. You could pay for the whole thing at one shot. You could break it down into 2 payments, 3 and 4, I think is the max.
You can't pay it up front all at once though. And that's something that all right, so here's Obi-Wan. So it was $274. So I paid a non-refundable deposit of $27.50. This was back, I don't know when it tells me. All right, so my payments start on March. Wait a minute, no. When did this doesn't even show me my freaking payments. So I paid the deposit on March 29th. And let me go to the calendar and I'll see. I don't think I start paying on it I think I start paying in January on this. But I'm not.
So they make you wait then. So it's not like you ordered it now and you make the payments now. Like, you don't start making them now.
Yeah, you could also set the time of month. Like, you can go like first, second, third week. You know what I mean? Last week of the month.
So you could check your paycheck schedule and
accordingly.
That's good. It's a good option.
God, it's so manipulative, though. It's like, we know that these things are expensive and we know that people want them. Let's accommodate them in every single way to help them rationalize them sending us all this money. It also keeps them making money on a regular basis, because like, these things take forever to come out sometimes. So
they got a steady income stream.
Yeah.
So let's see. October 10th, I have 2 payments due. The first one is on Thor. It's $60 on Thor. And what's the other one? They're doing the same fucking day. I can move them. And then Neo starts billing out that day.
Okay.
And that's actually I only have 2 in October. And then November 25th, I have another one that starts. And then after those months, it gets pretty bananas. Order your dioramas from Crashbox Customs, ladies and gentlemen. Thanos starts. Payment 2 of 7 on Thanos. Starts on the 25th of November. So
2 of 7. So do you have the option to like extend that? Like, so 2 of 7 payments. So that's did you choose that like 7 payments? Like, do you get to choose 3 payments?
Well, it depends on the price of the figure. So I'll give you an example, like the Darth Maul that just dropped. I did the super duper deluxe. It's $405 all in. Yeah, I did 7 payments, and I think your deposit counts as your first payment.
Yep.
So it's actually 6 payments, and then on that last payment, you pay any taxes and shipping as well.
Okay. So this payment plan thing, Gary, do you think this payment plan thing will help, subside that boredom? Because then it's like a constant reminder that you got stuff coming.
It doesn't do anything for me. Like I just have different opinions of it.
I get it. Someone else's shoes, perhaps, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a way to let someone who isn't able to like save on their own, that or maybe struggles with that a little bit, to feel like they're working towards something and making progress, versus me just putting money aside, in an envelope or something, right, every month, and then using that money to buy the item when it comes out.
All right, Dave Ramsey.
Well, I'm just saying. But I think you're right. I'd be curious to see how much money Hot Toys makes off of canceled pre-orders simply by collecting $27, $50, or $32 or $40 for that non-refundable deposit.
They made a pretty penny off for somebody I know.
I canceled a pre-order this week. I had ordered the Dark Side Anakin, and I'm like, you know what? I don't need that. So they kept my money.
Yep. Yeah.
Why didn't you just fucking pay for it and then flip it when you got it back?
I don't know. Just hear what this man went through with the pre-orders he got coming? That's why, right?
Yeah. But that is a difference. You're only in $30 as opposed to $300.
Exactly.
Well, it's just like anything else. It's a hobby, whatever it is. Toys. If we were racing snowmobiles or motorcycles, I mean, anything you start spending your money on, the further you get into it, you get a little bit desensitized to the money. So you just said Megatron blew people away at $230 2 years ago when it was announced. And people were freaking out, and now we're just, hey, MP version 3.0 is going to be $300, and everybody's just ready for it to come out like that.
Okay, take my money.
Something we don't talk about a lot is the escalation. Yeah, I like to use that word because, at the end of Batman Begins, Gordon says escalation. You buy body armor, they buy armor piercing rounds. Like, well, let's think about this. So we started out collecting, chugs from Walmart for $7-8, and then they were $15. Okay, that's fine. Well, then next, you're collecting Marvel Legends, and they're $15, and now they're $20, and Star Wars is $20. Okay, that's fine. Now there's a Build-A-Figure wave, and I need to buy all of them. So okay, it's $120. It's $120, but you get a free figure, and it's 8 figures. Okay, that's fine. So then, these SH Figure Arts. What's this? Oh, they make they make Star Wars figure. It's $50. Oh, it's $60. It's an exclusive. So it's an exclusive, and it comes in a brown box, so it's only $100. Okay.
Stop saying already.
Masterpiece Transformers, huh? Oh, okay, those are cool. Yeah. Optimus Prime's $150. Oh, it comes with the trailer and the little guy and the roller, and he comes with Spike, and he fits in the Matrix. Okay, I'm gonna order that. All right, I got that. Okay. And then you go from there. So then now, I'm talking about fucking $400 of the dude with spiked head and the fucking speeder. That doesn't make any sense. Oh my God.
You're going to cancel that one tomorrow.
No, I'm just, that's literally.
You're going to put that big ass speeder.
I don't know. That's exactly right, Chris. And it almost spins you back around to the beginning, I think. So I have a little bit of everything I've bought and sold or I collect. I've got some 3 3/4 and some 6-inch and some 1/6, Hot Toys scale stuff. And I find my interest ebbing and flowing quite a bit in different things. Yeah. And to that point, I don't have a problem giving up the brown and yellow Wolverine Marvel Legends because I like the blue and yellow one better, and I don't need to keep both. And I'll take that $20 figure and I'll sell it for $10 or $12, right, or whatever it is, or I'll put it in a group with 2 other loose ones and sell it that way. and not feel bad about it because, just what we mentioned before, you owned it, enjoyed it, you had it out. I like this version better. I don't need to keep all of them, and I'll move it on. But there's just so much less risk to that than the $300 item and what could happen with that.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing with it.
That's true.
Yeah, and I feel like when it comes to when you're spending that amount of money at that price point, like the upgrade has to be like really worth it. With the Transformers, like I always feel like you're getting something different if they're putting out a new version of a character because the engineering is not going to be the same. So in that regards, you have something like that to look forward to. Like it's the same character, but it's a different toy. It's a different. You're going to get a different kind of play value like out of it. But with the figures, the characters kind of look the same, and it's the outfits, the costumes, the uniforms, whatever you want to call them, that are probably the only things that change. So I know the technology on some of this stuff is different. Like I got to see the Wonder Woman at your house, Chris, and you don't really see any of the joints on that. And I know that's kind of like something new and something that they've had to perfect. So like I don't know. Like I guess it has to. Upgrades like that to me like matter, I'm saying like advances in the technology like of the figure, instead of just a simple costume swap, because then to me they should just sell the outfit separately, what I'm saying, for like $40 or $50 and that way.
Well, that's what people try to change the clothes on those damn things. That's nuts.
I'm sorry, Dave.
I was just gonna say that's what they should have did with that Anakin that you just canceled.
Yeah, they should have.
It's the same toy. They just fucking made a fucking base for it and fucking changed the eyes.
And I will say they've to an extent set a precedent, because the Iron Man that's coming out for Infinity War is I want. It's a very expensive figure. I think it's $350, $400. Then they have come out and released a $200 accessory pack that comes with it. So maybe Dave, they're onto something, and that's different because you're not swapping out soft goods, you're changing out arms and backpacks and all that jazz. But I think maybe they see the need for that in the marketplace. Changing it. Look, I put a long sleeve shirt on my Netflix Punisher, and holy mackerel, that was nerve-wracking to unbuckle all those buckles. And
it's like the new Jedi Luke that came out, the Hot Toys. People are basically saying that he looks a little fat under the suit, so they're taking some stuff out of it in order to put it back together. And if you fuck it up, you fuck it up. You tear something, you break something, you're screwed. But that's on you if you want him to look 5 pounds lighter than he does.
Also, I'm not familiar, so like it's not like an easy thing to take the clothes off, like the figures, and swap stuff out. Like,
all right, I'm not familiar.
Well, they're not. It's not Barbie dolls. They're not made to be taken apart. But like, I'll give you an example. So the Punisher, he has his tactical vest on. The tactical vest has, it's got straps on the side. Adjustment straps. I had to use a needle to pull each one of those apart to take off the tactical vest, and then put the shirt on, and then use the same process to put the tactical vest on. Actually, I think I used an Ace Milo TM spud drill to do it as well. But yeah, so they're not necessarily, and some of them are made, like some of them come with one extra whatever outfit, and then there's some like Gary, you have the purple coat Joker, right?
I sure do. Yep. So I was going to mention that one.
So I got the purple coat Joker, and I was excited to get it. It's an awesome figure. I did swap the head out. Like I have 2 Hot Toys Suicide Squad Jokers. Don't judge. I have the Arkham Asylum one and the purple coat. And what's funny is the purple coat one comes with the head where he's got a very solemn look on his. No, I'm sorry. He's got a very happy, surprised look on his face. Yeah, well, that scene in the movie, he's very solemn and mean looking. So I swapped the 2 heads. But the purple coat. So as soon as I got the figure, someone, I believe it was Cabalta, sent me a link. Somebody had said that purple coat was staining the body. So I remember I had gotten the figure. I literally had time to open it up, kind of look at it for like 5 minutes, and put it in my case. And I got that message while we were out doing something. And my wife gave me such a hard time because we got home. I jumped out of the car and I ran in there and I took the coat off as soon as I could to see. It didn't stain. And I think think probably the person who reported that was maybe in an environment where it was very humid and they did not have in central air.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously we're all blessed in the situation where we have that, especially Brian Brink. So, and you know, it's funny. I got here and moved and unpacked everything. And I'm like, you know what? I'm putting the fucking coat on and it's my toy. And if it stains it, I've got a fucking purple Joker. I don't care.
Yeah. And the thing is, Chris, I saw the same thing with it. And I kind of was trying to look at, because I've seen a lot of people talk about the soft goods, like they take the leather or the leather jackets off of like the Terminator figures and they condition them and stuff. But they're like, I hate to say, they're in other countries of a very humid environment. I don't know if they are in a, you know, kind of climate controlled environment, but I thought the same thing. But I'm like, I'm not going to put this Joker up there without the coat on it because it doesn't look as good. And what's the point?
Right.
why,
yeah, I mean,
why
like,
bother?
Like, I don't even know if I've mentioned this. So Dave helped me on an adventure to get my my Winter Soldier. And when I got it, Dave, I don't even think I told you, I was so excited to get it. I was kind of embarrassed. The leather, I think, has deteriorated on one of the sleeves and it's got a little hole in it. But I'm like, you know what? I've got his arm posed up, cocked, holding the gun.
He's battle damaged. He was fighting.
Battle damage. Right. And I don't think he was supposed to be like that. I've never looked to see. But I was just like, geez. And one of the harnesses had like come unglued. So I had to glue it back on because it was an older figure. And it didn't look like it ever really been even taken out of the box. But, you know, it's just kind of aged itself out a little bit.
It's kind of like, you know, if you come back around, like, you know, you put a combiner together and you pose it, you know, in combine mode, which is why you wanted maybe that team of characters. But over time, you know, the stuff wears out, you know, but you can either worry about it, what's going to happen in 3 years, or just enjoy it for what it is now and see what happens with it. I don't know. It just shouldn't worry that much.
I'm thinking, but I don't think I've changed the pose of that Devastator in 5 months. You know, I didn't think I'd be one of those guys, but I guess I am. But it's such a perfect pose. So fuck it.
Let me tell you who I do pose is my Soul Chogokin Voltron gets a repose every couple of weeks. Just a little bit.
Take a shot.
So not to monopolize the conversation about 6 scale, but you know, there are other companies that make 6 scale other than Hot Toys. And there's one that I have my eye on, but it's not quite. You guys ever see like the character that you finally want in whatever scale, and it's just not quite what you want it to be? So one of my all-time favorite movies, probably top 5 movies of all time, is the 70s rendition of Willy Wonka with Gene Wilder. And Blitz, I think it's Blitz. No, it's Molecule 8. Molecule 8 is doing a licensed Gene Wilder from Willy Wonka.
Did they make your Veruca Salt for you, Chris, finally?
I want a feast. I want a bean feast. Just ate an hour ago. I can sing all the songs. I take a Veruca Salt. The schnozberries taste like schnozberries. But the head sculpt is just, it's a little off. But they haven't. I think maybe it's because the hat isn't on it, and I think the head is made to have the hat. You guys ever notice that, like a figure that's meant to have an accessory sometimes doesn't look right unless it has that accessory? And I think that may be the case. I haven't bit the bullet and ordered it yet, but I'm tempted.
Okay. How open are you to do that? Like on a regular basis, stepping outside the Hot Toys realm?
Realm. So like, there's a company called Blitzway that make like the Ghostbusters. I know several people that pick those up. It would really just depend on the license, you know, and the quality of it.
Yeah.
So the Molecule 8 that makes that, it's making that Willy Wonka has recently released a John Lennon figure. Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
So Cobalta, I talked to Cobalta a bit, and he has that on order and is waiting on it. And so, you know, I did kind of weigh him a little and say, hey, when you get that, let me know what you think about it quality wise, because I'm thinking about this Willy Wonka. So he's going to let me know what he thinks about it. That company's product. I know there's been some issues like with the company itself, like deadlines and stuff. So that is a little off-putting as well, trying to get it.
All right. Soundwave Will in the chat, Chris, maybe you could answer this. He says, do you think He says, "Do you guys think that the hyper realism of some of the 1/6 figures are a problem?" He says, "All this talk of altering figures makes me think that the search for even more accuracy is an obstacle rather than a positive."
Yeah, so I mentioned that. I think 90% of the head sculpts are dead on. You know, I think like everything from the Infinity War releases, except for the Black Widow, is just, I won't say perfect, but it's damn near perfect. And I think between the digital scanning that they're doing and the sculpting that they're doing and the paint applications, I mean, at this point, I don't think you're not finding the perfect representation of the hyperrealism. I think you're getting it. I think it's just you're deciding whether or not you want to which costume, here I go, which uniform you want to display your Captain America in, or do you want your Captain America to have a beard? I think at this point it's just coming down to which rendition you're really after.
Yeah, and I've seen that happening now, like even on the smaller scale with like the Marvel Legends and stuff, like newer head sculpts like being put out that look more accurate and more on point. Things cost, but they look fucking awesome.
Hey, did any of you guys take that Marvel Legends survey they put out? So I took it. It was pretty interesting. So it was basically weighing price points versus what you get. So it asked, it was how those things are. It's a lot, very likely to very unlikely and everything in between. But it was giving you the option of, for $25, a digital paint, and they were using Star-Lord as an example. $25 digital paint application with a shit ton of accessories, no Build-A-Figure. And then it was the same $25 with the Build-A-Figure without the accessories. And then they did the same thing at $20 for that. And then they also had the option without the digital paint. So I don't know exactly what they're getting at. But that was the point of their survey.
That's weird, because if you're going to survey about the two different price points, but they're offering the same thing at the two different price points, you're going to choose the lower price point. No.
Well, yeah. I mean, and it was. I think they might be weighing the Build-A-Figure versus accessories.
Yeah.
I would rather. You know what? It's hard because if you buy all the figures in the line, you're gonna get an extra action figure.
Dude,
but I would want accessories and digital paint.
I agree.
Of the way some of that stuff's been looking.
Yeah. Stop making people try and buy shit they don't want to try and get the one piece that they need.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like make a quality figure that stands on its own.
Yeah.
Like, does anybody really need what's that guy that's in the new wave? The guy I've never even heard of, the Guardian, or
the pterodactyl guy?
No, this is in the X-Men wave that just came out.
I was going to say, shout out to Crashbox. That got me my X-Men wave so I could build Apocalypse.
The rest of them are coming. The rest of them are coming next week. Everybody, I didn't get them all in at once.
Is Apocalypse the Build-A-Figure?
Yeah.
He is. I saw that picture you posted, Chris. That shit looks fucking great.
He's a real beaut.
But it is a good example of buying a whole wave of, I just accepted the fact that I'm going to, oops, just lost my phone. I'm going to buy the whole.
He's roboting. Is it that? Can you hear him, guys?
But I will.
Did he drop his phone in the toilet? What happened?
I think that's what happened. I will say that wave is probably one of the strongest entire waves they released in quite some time. There's only a couple characters in there you're like, what the fuck is this shit? But the majority of it is it's core characters, or it's there's a new Wolverine. Of course, there's always a Wolverine.
I hope that Daredevil Sasquatch wave is one of the strongest waves they've ever made, because I gotta fucking sell that some bitch here in 3 weeks. Not piecing it out neither, even though that X-22 looks pretty cool.
Eric in the chat, he says, I really like the waves they've been dropping for X-Men, and if you're an X-Men fan, you need a Guardian. I guess he's saying don't shit on Guardian.
All right. outside. Well, let's everybody send Eric here. He can army build them like I'm army building Zuvio. I'm over 50 now, by the way. If anybody's
Jesus Christ, what are you doing? Are you gonna fucking blow those?
He doesn't even know what he's fucking doing.
You know what's funny? Frosted Flakes has just been taking them and just putting them in random ass places. Like there's one hanging in my ceiling in my workshop. There's one in the kitchen.
Zuvio on a something. Zuvio on a carryo.
Dude, you know how fucked up would it be if your kid woke up and his Elf on the Shelf wasn't there, but there was 50 fucking weird ass action figures staring at him on the mantle, and the stockings were all gone.
Just so everybody knows, everybody's getting a Zuvio in the rock boxes. Yeah.
Hell no, I'm not getting rid of those things. I'm not getting rid of those. You're out of your mind.
Dave, shh, you're not supposed to let them know that yet.
Rock box is gonna be fire.
Jedi Mindset in the chat said to make a new price scale for to build bigger figures so they could be purchased on their own. Like, what do you guys think about that, as opposed to packing the pieces in individual?
So what's funny is they end up a lot of it they end up releasing by itself later. For example, the Thanos that just came out is a better paint app of it is in the box set with the anniversaries. The same with the Hulk Buster. Yep. Yeah.
I saw that in person this weekend. I was like, huh. I was like, I'm gonna buy this, and then the register wouldn't ring it up. I'm like, money saved. I didn't need this anyway. That was great.
You a favor.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Chris.
All right, cool. I think
it's cool. Flake's got the crossbones and cap set, and the head sculpts on that are freaking money, man. They're so good.
Yeah. Some of them I've been seeing. They look like, to me, better than what Fig Arts have been doing on some of their figures. So it's like I know the articulation overall is not as good, but I feel like you're paying $20 for Marvel Legends and you're paying, $60 or more for a Fig Arts, and I'm like, I'm not seeing much of a difference in quality. Like, I feel like the Legends are almost good enough.
If you really like to pose your figures and screw around with your figures, as I'm sitting here playing with a figure, the Figure Arts obviously gives you a lot more opportunity for that. But the paint, the digital paint, I think Figure Arts has almost taken a step back. Last couple of releases, I joked a lot about the Obi-Wan looking like Freddy Krueger, but seeing it in person is a little different. But there's a couple of them, man, that just seem like they're off. The Leia doesn't quite look on point.
Well, to me, the Leia doesn't look too bad, but I never liked the face sculpts that they gave us for Captain America. Like the Civil War.
It's never looked good. I have a custom head I ordered off somebody, actually, and Flakes has it on his Infinity War body, and I ended up with an extra shield, so he's actually got the right number of shields, and that's freaking badass figure once it's all put together.
Yep. All right, we could wrap on that, because as always we continue into the wee hours of the morning in the unbroadcasted ROC hangout. So if anybody's out there watching us live and listening, please, we're going to throw the link out in the Realm of Collectors Facebook group, so hop on it and join the conversation. So let's run down the line, get some where you ats before we're out for the night. Brian Brink, I'll start with.
You can find me in the Facebook groups is Brian Brink at Brinkalizer on Instagram. That's about it. Hopefully, Passive Fanatics Saturday, stuff like that. Enter the Realm Mondays. All over.
Well, for you, at least. Yeah. Shit, don't rub that in, bro. All right, Energon Addict.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Energon Addict. Here on Tuesdays, and hit me up, man. Got a question to ask, you want to talk, chat up. I'm always down to meet new people, and you old people who haven't been around a minute, I miss y'all motherfuckers. Hit me up. Don't show up at TFCon trying to hug up on me if you haven't talked to me in 4 or 5 months. So I'm here. Be your friend. Reach out.
Damn, that's hard.
I'm just real. Sorry.
I like that. All right, Chi Money.
Yeah, I'm here on Tuesdays, or Gary Allen in the Facebook groups, and I'll be at NJCC in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah. Come on down.
Right. Our special guest, Chris Pinkerton.
Hey, Crashbox Customs and all your social media. Probably the best place to find me. There you go. Thanks for having me tonight, guys. Glad to be welcome somewhere.
No problem. No problem. Like I said, you're always welcome on Tuesday nights. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Maybe for you, like I said, refugee. Right. It only takes so much of this guy, you know.
I ain't trying to start no shit, you know. All right, guys. That's for myself. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Xbox Live, and the PlayStation Network. All at Harrick and BX. Here with these fine gentlemen every single Tuesday. And please check out Verbally Challenged with Harrick and BX. That's available on all audio platforms. Please do. I'd really appreciate that. Before we head out, remember to check out the Realm of Collectors website, realmofcollectors.com. Shout out to some friends of the show at Figure Photography Crate on Instagram, Third Party Unlimited, tfprototype.com, kumastyle.com, Retro Now on YouTube. He was in the chat. What's up, Retro? TKO and the Blackout and Shout crew. Join us on Facebook if you haven't done so already, where there is a group, Realm of Collectors. We're on Instagram at Realm of Collectors. This show, Breaking the Mold, is a proud part of the Cool Table, so please pull up a chair. It's a network hub for like-minded podcasts, including Enter the Realm, Plastic Fanatics, Shattercast Uncut, Toy Detox, Nerd Rage Radio, Beer and Bolts is 40K, Stasis Lock 8 weeks, building up to it, and Fresh Communication. You can find the Cool Table on Facebook and subscribe to all these other great podcasts on iTunes and Google Play. R.O.C. Hangout will continue next. Look out for the link in the group. We are the R.O.C. We're not going anywhere, so get to know us. That does it for this week. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Have a good week, guys.